Okay, so in this video we are looking at a problem involving a right-angled triangle. So it's asking us to get the two non-hypotenuse sides of the triangle as input from the keyboard, and then it wants to display the value of the hypotenuse and the two angles that are in the triangle. So if I look at the triangle, I've got a right angle triangle here. So I'm getting these values, A and B. Okay, and here's the hypotenuse, which is C. And I've got to calculate these two angles. So let's say if this is the first angle, theta, then I can calculate that angle using the inverse tangent, so like the opposite side over the adjacent side. And I could do that again for the other angle up here, but the opposite would be A and the adjacent would be B. Or I know that in a right angle triangle that this is 90, so the third angle would be 90 minus that one as well. So you could do that either way. So we'll go back to our IDE and we will type in that code. Okay, so I'm going to need to do some trigonometry here, so I'm going to need the math library imported at the start of my program, and let's say I need those two values, A and B, right? Okay, so we will just assume they're integers, so we'll say enter side 1 of the right triangle. Okay. And B is the same thing. Enter side 2 of the right triangle. All right. So calculating the hypotenuse. So that's the C value. So the formula was the square root of A squared plus B squared. So it's the square root of A squared plus B squared. And the angle. So the first angle, we're going to do A, the opposite side was A and the adjacent side was B. So angle 1 is, now we got to do a couple things because we're doing trigonometry here. So the inverse tan, that tan negative 1, is math dot A tan, okay, and it's opposite over adjacent. But remember, this is returning a value that's in radians, so we need to convert all of this to degrees. So math dot degrees to the final answer there. Okay. And then our other angle, angle 2, was just 90 minus angle 1. Or you could do this entire formula again, but it would be B divided by A. Okay. And we just have to print those values out. So the hypotenuse is, and we can round that value to the nearest decimal, and the angles are, so around angle 1 to the nearest whole decimal. Okay. And I suppose I could just, I could also int those as well instead of rounding, because int just cuts off the decimal, but this is probably a better solution. And round angle 2. Okay, so let's see if we know what's going on. So if I did a 3, 4, 5 triangle, that's easy to figure out. So if side 1 is 3, side 2 is 4, then my hypotenuse should be 5, which it is. And these are the correct angles for a 3, 4, 5 triangle. Okay? And you could try some other triangles there as well. If you're familiar with math, you could try the special triangles as well to see whether you can get those to produce your answers, but you would have to change your ints to floats to do the ratios for those sides.